Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll go through some S&P E-mini or whatever instruments you guys want to take a look at. It's really E-mini for you guys to learn order flow on what Bookmap can display. So it can be futures, stocks, or cryptocurrencies. So just let me know and we can punch it in and take a look. All right, well, let's jump in here and go through the disclosure, and then we'll take a look at these live markets. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so not a trade recommendation room, and interesting day so far. Ton of data, well, a few data points or economic releases. We had earlier the PPI, and you can see the drop here after that number that came out, and the number was good. Obviously, that it means kind of bad for the markets, as purchasing managers are, they're purchasing. So that means that the Fed or CPI might be higher, and retail sales might be higher. Therefore, the Fed will more likely raise interest rates. And then we just had the University of Michigan consumer sentiment here. Not much to write home about there, but you can see the liquidity drop here just around 9:59, and then markets just starting to go back into normal mode after the release here, and providing liquidity at some of these other levels now, as you can see. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if there's any questions just to begin with. It's been quite a week. All sorts of stuff going on in here. So let me double check in our Discord. Any questions? No, looks good. And then what about over on YouTube? And no, nothing yet. Okay, good. All right, we're all set. Well, guys, let me know, and happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, well, what do we see? What's going on here? Any potential opportunities in the market right now? Looking at the S&P E-mini, and we're going to first start off with the volume event here. All right, Scott talks about this. He talked about it yesterday about the looking for a real-time volume to give insight after that event has unfolded. Well, there's volume events all over the place all the time, right? Depends on the time frame, depends on what you're comfortable with. I mean, this is clearly a very big one right here. Okay, so we can outline the volume event right here, and then we can also see other pockets in here with pretty big volume dots in here. Okay, so it's really kind of back and forth right now in this period, just after the cash open here at 9:30. All right, but we're still within this move here, basically, you can see. So we're just going to look, we're kind of slopping around it within here as it is right now, but we'll zoom in and try to get some insight, maybe on a smaller time frame. Good morning. Let's see, can we add market pulse? Yeah, we're still kind of working on that one. And this has not been released yet. So just let you know that we are close to releasing it, and you'll find out more about it soon. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, yeah, it's a great tool. I can show you this Trader Map Pro, guys. I'm in love with this tool. Like, for example, right now we see these buyers come in, and we can filter this heat map. We can filter it for 100. Here's the filter right here. Well, this is where they are. They're up here at 39.75. Now, they've been there for days, actually. I mean, back and forth for days at this price level. So larger player, this is where they want to deal. So let's see, can we get enough buyers in here? See them come in actually and provide a little liquidity here, get filled a little bit. I'm looking for buyers though. I want to see if they can break through this little wall that just popped into the book here. And then if they can, I'm looking for them to trade up to 75. Okay, so there they go. Found some buyers. Now let's see if we can get the follow through here. All right, now where are they on the bid? Well, they're down here, so around 51. All right, so we got insight from the higher time frame here. Okay, looking for buyers, and let's see it. Let's see it, buyers. Let's see what you have. They're bidding up a little bit in here. It's not much of a breakout, to be honest. It does not look that convincing. Okay, we just know that there's high liquidity up here, and these buyers did take this liquidity on just right in here. Okay, that much we know, and that's about it, right? In terms of the order flow overall here, it's not bad looking to the upside here, but it's not that convincing either. This is convincing here. Okay, this is another volume event in here, guys. So you can mark it up. Here's your volume event. Look at the pullbacks to that, where that volume event initiated. Okay, now we look for other support, like from the order book, in the limit order book here, on the bid and on the offer. Where are they? Okay, so they are supporting it here. It looks like at 65. They want to get filled, and they did. Okay, they did. They got filled. Okay, great. We have a small stop run here as well. We're down at the bottom of the range. Let's see if we can get those buyers back in here. Maybe not. Let's see. And then try to reach right back here to 65, and then maybe break through and come back to the top of the range here again. Okay, now that's just one scenario here. Okay, the other scenario is now we're going to see if the sellers can try to break this range here and then drop it quickly down to 60 here, and that's what's unfolding. The swing down here at 57, and then what we had recognized down here, that high liquidity down around 51, which it's more like 52, it looks like. Okay. All right. Does everyone understand what I'm talking about here? Like these volume events. Is any questions on this? The Market Pulse add-on, well, you're able to make filters for it, and it's an audio alert. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. It's not released yet, guys. It's pretty awesome, though. I will say that it's pretty amazing. You can look for, and well, you can hear the market basically. But you can look for these certain thresholds and spikes. Okay, we're back up here, guys. All right, so this kind of breakdown back up above here, and the market really is kind of all over the place right now. Not getting too much insight from this. Okay, I like it now to the upside. Let's see if we can get it here. Looking for those buyers right now here at this 66, and then to break it on up into this liquidity up here at 70. Okay, now it's not high probability in here. Just looking, this is the most likely scenario here. We see the volume buy pressure coming in and coming back to where we were looking for them to break out previously here. And it was just okay up here, right? It wasn't that convincing. Okay, so this is looking better though. I like this better. And I mean, let me put it this way. This is why it looks better, is look at the size and reference here of the volume. Okay, pretty strong moves with pretty strong volume. Okay, so it came up here and it kind of shied away and it pulled back. and looking for, again, more buyers to come in. All right, so let's see if we're looking for, now here's why we like the buy volume, but we didn't like the order book. All right, so the volume looks great. Okay, the move looks pretty good too. It looks better than this over here. You can see it, right? But we didn't have the order book supporting it. It's kind of dark in here. They're down here at 61.5, and they're up here at 70 basically. So this break of this small trend line here, as you guys can see, it came down to where these guys initiated this kind of volume move here. All right, so and the liquidity's down here. Now, if the book had looked different, let's suppose this kind of liquidity that we see in here, let's suppose there was blocks of it, underneath here, and then they're charging up underneath here as well. That would be different. And what if this guy is pulling up here at 70? Well, then we're looking for that scenario to trade up to this 75 level up here. All right, so we didn't have all the pieces here in a convincing kind of order flow directional move here. Okay, the volume though looks good, and the strength of that move in here looks good as well. Okay, so again, we're back at the bottom here, and again, it opens those doors. Now this is quite a bit of selling here. Okay, and we made a lower high here too. So let's see here. Let's see what happens right here. Our pullback. Looking for, again, for sellers here at 58 now. And let's see if we can break it. Okay, sell side. We're looking to, again, for where this volume is taking place in these bigger moves in here, right? Trying to take control of the market and one's going to win. And we're looking for a break of this huge range here. Okay, so that's what we're kind of looking for, one way or the other here. Okay, this was looking better. We just didn't have the order book, and then we never even actually made a test of the high here. Okay, it didn't make it up there. So looking for the sellers right here, right now. This looks good. Let's see if they can drop it right down into 55, and then our 52.5 level here. Still holding structure, looking for the sellers. And again, that's the move we're looking for. But again, the order book here really isn't supporting it much. I'm just looking for the move into this 55 or 54 and then 52. Okay, order book's looking a little bit better. Not much. Not much. Anyway, just guys, we're kind of going through an exercise in here. Again, these aren't trade recommendations, but what we're doing is reading this order flow and then putting these scenarios together and then saying, okay, well, this is what we're seeing. We don't have all the pieces here for a really high quality move here. But this is the direction we're looking for. Okay, so and that's it. And you can see, it did drop here. It never made it back down into this 55, and then look at the buyers coming right back in. So we're kind of all over the place here. Okay, so and it's pretty strong buy volume in here. This is really sloppy stuff in here. Look at the profiles in here. There's just a lot of back and forth in here right now. Okay, something's going to break though. Something's going to give, and we'll see it. Okay, typically these kinds of moves in here is something that we'll see is a break of this, and then a quick move back in, and then the big move takes place, and then after it kind of traps a lot of traders going the wrong direction here. Okay, that's very, very typical. All right. Anyway, guys, yeah, still not seeing much here. We are at the bottom edge here. If we get enough sellers here, then we're looking for this break here. Okay, should be pretty good, but we're not getting that much insight right now. Let me see if there's any. Good morning, Rob. Oh yeah, Rob, you're on my list. I got to reach out to you. I'm sorry about that. It's just been really busy. Anyway, guys, you see how we can, if we don't see something really that good and has all the pieces, see how we can sit and stay out. I mean, we're still going to give a directional, kind of conviction here, but it's just it's not high probability. We're still going to read the order flow, and I encourage you to go through this exercise because then you'll start to recognize higher probability moves, and it will just hit you over the head. Look at the order book underneath here. Look at them supporting it now. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to read that here. This is different, right? This is different than before. We didn't see this kind of behavior before. Okay, and we're finding buyers. Okay, all right, buyers should be able to then make it to the top of this little range here at 61.5. And then let's see if they can if they can pick it up even more and try to reach back up to this 64 up here. Okay, this swing, then we'd be looking for the higher move, basically. Right? So it's this reaction to this liquidity is what we're reading here. Okay, this is a little different, right? We have the order book now. Now we don't have the aggressor though. Like, look, sellers are interested in it. There, they just traded into it. Okay, so now we're looking to see for the aggressor, the buyers, to come in here, or more support in here. That's good. Okay, buyers should be able to lift it right up to 62 here. Okay, they traded here. These guys bought, limit buys, and we're starting to get our buyers here, so we're looking for the move here. Now, it's kind of dark underneath here. Still looking for it though. Okay, because of these two events in here. So this is a little bit better, a little bit higher probability. Now we come back down here and these guys pulled that liquidity. Okay, but it's getting interesting now. We're getting a little more insight here from the players in the auction and the order flow. Okay. Here's some high liquidity coming in here, and we found buyers again. All right, so move up to 61 liquidity here, or 62 is kind of what flashes in and out of the book up here. Well, they can't do it. Can't do it. Now, this is where we look at market structure. And we've given these guys, the buyers, a couple shots in here at it. They failed to make a higher high here, here, or here. Or now they made a lower low here. So now we're looking for sellers here, and this looks much better now to break down into 55, down into 50. Okay, we gave the buyers a try. They couldn't make the higher high. Okay, so now we're looking for sellers to try to move it, and let's see if they can. They should be able to move it back down to kind of lows of the cash session here. Or I'm sorry, is it the cash session? No, that's way down here. Okay, that's down at 43. Boy, interesting moves in here. Okay, so we did get the break down to 55. Okay, that traded, that transacted. And then buyers come roaring back in yet again. This is a pretty dismal session so far, guys. So something's going to break in here, though. Look at that buying just came in. Okay, into a big iceberg. Auction around VPOC and VWAP. Yeah, I bet. I mean, high volume node here. And just bashing around in here. All right, guys. Well, you know what? We're going to take a step back here since we're not really finding much happening in the order flow here. Every time we say that and we turn our backs, we get the move. Well, not every time, but we see in real time the big moves all the time. Just super strong, super easy reads. Much easier reads. These are not easier reads. We don't see the participants telling us that they want to go a specific way. Okay, some short little reads in here, very short time frame, and I mean, we didn't, like I said, it was getting a little interesting in here, and then they could not make the higher high. Typically that leads to the sellers coming in like this and then really breaking it, and then breaking down here. The buyers came charging right back into the high here, so it kind of negates that. And just reading the order flow, reading the transactions, reading the order book. Let's see, what's the this is starting to look a little thin here. So let's do a quick search here for volume, CME, S&P E-mini, and yeah, it's still on the Z contract, but I'll bet we're going to have the rollover here. No, it'll probably be next week. March contract here is about, it's kind of paltry right now compared to the Z contract. All right. What I was going to do here is, well, I wanted to take a look at the higher time frame, okay, and weave that into this order flow here. We put the VPOC on here, or VWAP and VPOC. Yeah, just caught in the middle there. Can you see how like this in here? There, let's just clear these drawings here. It's getting pretty messy. But you know, we're trying to get some insight, right, to these traders in the order flow, what their position is, and then when and where it might move away from this big value area it's creating in here. And you know, we know what that's going to look like here. Okay, so for example, we look for it right now. We look for really big red dots down here. Okay, so it looks like they're going to probably break it here. I like it. Let's see if we can get them here. Now, again, we don't have the order book on our side, and we're just looking at basically the transactions here. It's pretty dark in these areas here in the order book. But I think these sellers here can test this bottom edge here and probably break it down into 52 and 50, or 53, I should say. All right, sellers, let's see it. Let's see it. Again, guys, it's not high probability. It's just they couldn't get enough buyers in here looking for sellers here right now, and then the push 54, 53, 50. Yeah, I just about had it with this. All right, so let's jump around. Let's jump over to another market, or let's look at the higher time frame in here. So this is our candlestick chart, and we can look at the daily on the left, hourly in the middle, and then the 15-minute here on the right. And we're going to go through the same process basically. You know, this is that big volume event right here. Look at all the activity within that event. All right, so and what kind of insight do we have in here in this 15-minute chart? Not much, right? Even on the hourly chart, look at the wicks on both sides in here after this big push to the upside. One little insight, I guess, is like we are making lower highs and lower lows in here on both. All right, so the buyers, there's just not enough buyers to make a higher high in here yet. Okay, so we're going to have to see quite a bit of buying in here, and that would happen right here right now, and then we'd be looking for the move up into that 70 level that we talked about, and then what 75 is at the top of the wicks here. Okay, so they're starting to see maybe a little bit come in, so let's jump over. Now the daily chart looks pretty good, that it tested these lows down here and these wicks. Okay, so you know, it's just kind of bouncing around a little bit. It's just not finding a lot of buyers yet, okay, after that strong kind of sell-off here, and move to the downside into these areas. Guys, I thought that was a pretty easy read on here in this hourly chart. And when we take a look at this, we saw this kind of break down below in here, and this is kind of no man's land in here. And then we talked about it in the advanced webinar, but it was choppy during that webinar. It moved later afterwards for the rest of the day down into these areas down in here, but we just didn't see any buyers, right? So looks like we're getting them now. All right, so here we go. Yeah. All right, so this is looking pretty good now. We're starting to tear away from that area. and back up to the highs here. So 70, it was what we were looking for, right? That was the first test of the wicks in here, and then 75. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, see how they're on the order in the order book on the bid in here? That's good. We're testing into 70. We'll probably get a bit of a pullback here, maybe 67, maybe 65. All right, now we're looking though for more buyers again. Okay, so we could pull back here to 65. We could even pull back to here, 61, and then have a bounce out of the area. But it's this volume here that we're looking at. Okay, they're the ones leading the charge here. Okay, do we see any sellers in here? Ready to trade it right back down here? Not yet. This is just a pullback. Okay, buyers in control in this move here. This is how you can start to read flag patterns as well. So there's our move into 65. Okay, now let's see. Do we start to get buyers now, or do we have to go a little bit lower still and tap off of the VWAP down here? Okay, let's see. Do we get our buyers starting to come in? A little bit. The bid looks good. All right, buyers, then let's see it. Move it right back to the high here at 70 or the swing. And continue. And nothing yet. Thanks, Joe. Joe was rollovers on Monday. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to, by the end of the day today, I'm sure it's going to be a lot higher. I love it, Joe. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, guys. And hit the like, and this is what helps us do this kind of education for you. That's free. You want to take a look at crude? All right. Quad revent. Yeah, I'm looking for a bounce here. We've come all the way back down here to 61 or 60. Now we should get a bit of a bounce off of this and a move probably right back to here, 63 and a half or 3/4. Okay, just looking for that right now. Just that. Why? Because this is where the buyers came in, and we do see some support here at the VWAP too. So we traded through VWAP, test the other side of it, and looking for buyers to just retest back up to here, right to here. So I guess it's about 64. Paul, how to measure the tick distance like a ruler? Yeah, we don't have a measuring tool like that. Guys, this is such a choppy day so far that I mean, buyers on one side, sellers on the other, etc. I do like this move in here, like we've covered, and I'd be looking for these buyers to come in and then just retest back up into where it dropped from here, around this 64-ish area. Okay, but yeah, we're just reading the bigger dots in here. basically on days like this, and looking for them to kind of continue to move to areas of high liquidity, because it's pretty dark in the order book here, right? So we can get these kind of, kind of small momentum moves, and then they fail, basically. Okay, here's our retest back up into here. Still looking for it. Okay, now I'm really curious to see, since this is the volume event, okay, now I'm looking to see if we can get even more buyers now above this area, back into back up to the high here. It's a hard read. The order book's a little supportive here, but it's basically just all about the aggressors in here just moving this, moving it up to 70 again, right? This is just, it's a scenario in here, and we just see it happen a lot. Like, this is the sell volume event, and we're already above it though, right? Okay, a bounce off of it. Now the bigger picture move is what we already covered. We see some wicks up here, and just looking for, and let's go to the week here, looking for the buyers to come up to the highs in here, these wicks up in here. So that's around 76. Okay, and we know there's high liquidity at 75. Okay, I like it on the hourly and on this 15-minute chart, and here's why. We've tested now down here a bunch of times, and we found buying pressure to come right back up again. That's good. Okay, so I would look for, a continuation on the buy side, and confirmation here in the order flow. All right, let's see it. Buyers here now. Again, it's just not that great. Even this volume in here is pretty thin. Sorry, I mean, I want it to be big volume. We're looking for that to unfold, or as a possible scenario, or more likely scenario right now than sellers coming in. Okay, that's it though. Like, we just don't see anything great in here right now. And look, it's not a trade calling room in here. It's an order flow reading room, and we still going to make the directional conviction to the upside here as most likely, but we just don't have a lot to lean on in here. Even this volume in here is not the strongest. Strong move, not a whole lot of strong buy volume though. Okay, when you zoom out and you see these big moves unfold, really strong volume, like in here in these areas. And look how equal this is. This strong buy volume, strong sell volume. Okay, and this kind of defines, has at least defined this whole area. So just stay out of the market until you find something that really looks good. I like this idea back up into 88, 87 or so. That's where we drop from here after the PPI. POC stands for point of control, Nirav, but point of control. So guys, still this is the conviction, directional conviction, but like I said, it's looking a little bit better with the order book here supporting it underneath, and we're finding some buyers. So still looking for it to unfold here. It's just it's nothing to really shout about though. POC and point of control, this kind of terminology stuff kind of always kind of cracks me up a little bit. we want to understand it in terms of auction principles. Point of control just means the most traded level, which would be right here. You can see this high volume node here. The most traded price level in this cash session is right here, okay, around 61. And we have an indicator that shows that as well. Okay, it's this yellow line here. It says POC. Okay, this is the VWAP here, which stands for volume weighted average price. Okay, so it's just a moving average basically, but a volume. So anyway, guys, you see how we can stay away from these things? You know, even in here, it still looked pretty good that it should come up and test up into here. And then what happened? Aggressive sellers came in. Okay, now we're in another range though, up here. And you can see that profile as well. And the profile here is just showing you like the horizontal area here. This is the chart range volume profile. And it just, it's just compiling and putting into a histogram here, all the volume added up on the horizontal. That's it. Yeah, RT, let's take a look at that 100 lot Trader Map Pro again. Yeah, they're up here at 74 now. Okay, they were up at 75 earlier. So we really like that area. And that we thought we'd get our buyers to come in here and try to reach back up into there. And it's just been really choppy since. One of the things I think, who was talking about the rollover? I think it was Joe. Yeah. Guys, like this next week, and I mean, you can see it today as well, how it's just kind of, we're not getting really good reads in here one way or the other. The order book is not very supportive in here. So that there's not a whole lot of conviction. And then you just see these kind of quick moves by the buyers or quick moves by the sellers, etc. Lots of little stop runs, etc. And look at the order book in here, right? It's starting to give us clues to rollover, starting to unfold. You can see this kind of behavior in here of that, you know, some of these algos that are straddling the market here. And rollover period is a very challenging time, I find, to trade, unless maybe you're you know, looking at doing some spread trading. The reason being is that you know, the traders aren't, they're kind of going from one contract to another. Their behavior is different, and it's noticeable in the order flow. It makes the order flow harder. Typically, not always. We've seen some great moves during a rollover period, but a lot of times you look for that move to unfold and it just doesn't. It fails, and then you look for it to, you know, unfold maybe on the other side, and it just doesn't, and it fails. So it's just something to keep in mind. I know a lot of professional traders that don't trade during that period. They wait until that period is clear. They just don't have as high probability for their setups. So that's pretty wise decision making. All right, so let's see here if you can see, came up here. This is looking good. Buyers pulls all the way back, but we get buyers back up here again, and then we're pulling all the way back yet again. Okay, so anyway, we're looking for the move higher. This was our buy volume event. This was our little sell volume event, but we were above it. and now we're back down below it. But we mentioned it's just nothing really fantastic here. Let's jump over to crude and see if something's going on over there. Boy, it's pretty all over the place too, as you can see. I don't know if we're going to get much of anything today. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see anything here in crude either. It's just not looking good. Yeah, Ramon, hey Corwin, I'm answering the questions here in the chat. No problem. All right, Lou, you're looking at a CVNA stock. Yeah, we're just not getting much insight today, Corwin. It's just really back and forth in here. Guys, something's going to give though and break, and it should be a nice move. I mean, this is like built up kind of momentum, or you know, there's going to be some traders that get it wrong, and they're going to be, you know, the fuel for that fire to move the market. Okay, with their stops. Anyway, you can see the control. We started off the webinar here. This was the big volume event here in the move here, and then we've been within that price action the whole time. Okay, with this S&P. Let's see what does our candlestick look like here. You know, it came up here and it failed again, but it's still kind of hanging out up here. So I'm curious. I'm still kind of curious to see if we can get those buyers back up here around 67 or so, and then try to make it back up into 70, 76. Yeah, we can go through like maybe some exercises in here. Reading the order book, reading the aggressors only. You know, those are always kind of worthy. Really kind of sharpen the skills in the micro. It's not microstructure, but lower time frame. And look at kind of fractal moves in here. Even that's not the greatest. I mean, it's just we're just not seeing much, right? We can go through these principles. They're here. This should go higher here, up back. Just it's already higher, but maybe back up to 61.5. Maybe 62.5. Here's why. Same principles we're going through. Here's your trap volume. Here's the retest. Here's the buyers coming in. Here's the retest here. And then we're finding buyers here. So we're looking for the move back up to here, right? And there it is, right? So that was really quick, but we saw something. Yeah, it bounced off of POC, but I don't care about POC. That didn't have anything to do with it. It had to do with these sellers and these buyers in the range here. Now you can even look at this another way. Okay, on a higher time frame, a fractal. Now it's testing the top of this range where these buyers came in, right? So it's below it. It's kind of hacking around. So what if we get back up above and we get more buyers? Great. We're looking for 64 again up here, or swing high. Yeah, maybe 63.5 is better. Okay. Exhaustion, no buying up here. Okay, what if we get sellers here? 62, they should come right back down to here, 61. And there they go. Okay, maybe they'll push it a little further. All right, so same concepts, same idea. We can do the same on crude as well, or NASDAQ. Maybe NASDAQ would be nice. Okay, so now look at this, a little cluster of buying and support here, 62.5. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If there's two scenarios in here, either could happen. We're not getting too much insight, but the trap would be this buying here and then sellers down here, right? We might just get continuation by buyers in here. But we're open to that second scenario here of sellers down below here, and then the move back down to our 61 in VWAP. Look at them support it here, 63.5. Larger player, high liquidity. Again, high liquidity. Finding a few sellers. Okay, all right. Buyers starting to lift it. Great. All right. Okay, more buyers. Yeah, I like it. Okay, again, these are quick moves, and we're just reading the order flow. You know, the buyers are on the bid down way down here, so sellers can kind of whip it down there quickly. But because we didn't get too many sellers in here and we got buyers back up here, I'd be looking for them to try to press it higher. Okay, 68 up here, this liquidity here. Okay, now they're on the bid, 64, 65, and no buyers. And we're going to get our sellers. Let's see here. More questions. You trade Ramon. You play the Euro USD spot. Yeah. We don't have forex. I do have the 6E though, so we can take a look at that. Guys, if you've been using this as a correlated market, it's probably giving you really good insight because of the dollar strength and interest rates and kind of correlation between that and the stock indexes. All All right, let's see if we can get it. If we can get buyers up here in this euro. Maybe this is leading indicator. Come on, buyers. The bid looks good. I like it. They should be able to lift it to 55 up here, 55.40. So and let's jump back to our ES then. So we should find our buyers here, and they're here. So there's our correlation, right? And we're back up here. 70. This volume up here looks much better here, much better. Pretty strong buy volume. Okay, but we have strong buy volume, but we don't have a very strong move. And we have very little in the order book helping us today. Yeah, one of these breaks is going to be good, but here's what we've got. You know, we've had good volume up here at the top edge, but like it's not able to really break anything. It just came back up to 70 here. It's come up here a number of times though, so that's good. Got to get these buyers in here. Now we have the dollar index. We have the euro dollar helping us out a little bit too. We saw that correlation. So now that's good. What about NASDAQ? Is it helping us out here? Yeah. All right. So everything's kind of going the same direction here. This is where we have much better conviction or insight, right? Looking for our 75 up here. Okay. Now and then in terms of order flow though, we're just getting this kind of structure and volume. We're not getting much from the order book. So just be aware of that. It's not the full picture here. Okay? It depends, you know, do you want to take that kind of risk or not? You know, I like to really wait and when I have the order book in line with my correlations and also the three elements in Bookmap here: the price structure, the volume, transactions, and then the order book. Okay? Then those are much easier. You can kind of breathe easier and look for that follow through in that move. Okay, I'd still be looking for it here in this S&P. Okay, and here come the buyers. Okay, when we had our reasons, we had our correlated market, two correlated markets. Okay, NASDAQ, dollar, and thanks for euro dollar. Ramon for bringing that up. Okay, and then here now we're getting our move. Okay, so 75 is the target. Let's take a look at our bigger time frame here. So let's see if they can just break it above 75. In fact, now if they can break it up here with quite a bit of volume up at 70, 76-ish, 77, then next move would be up here around 88, 87, 88. So about a 10-point move. Here's our hourly chart here. This is what we were talking about. Okay, we talked about it at, you know, I don't know, half an hour ago or so. If we see that we're kind of bullish in the sense that there were wicks up here, but we're still hanging out up here, and the buyers seem to, you know, continue to come up here. So then we'd be looking for this next move here, and then in the order flow, well, it just was back and forth in here, and we got some sort of conviction on the small time frame in here, and then thanks to Ramon looking at that euro dollar. And NASDAQ as well, that then we had this kind of a nicer move here to look for. Okay, we still didn't have the order book really helping us. A little bit, but not really. Okay, and yeah, if I were trading live in here, I would have taken my profit probably in front of that 75 here, and I'd be out. I just look for the next setup. It's just too choppy. So that would be my trade management. But that's something you guys got to determine. You know, what if this move here turns into a much bigger move up into 88? Heck, what about maybe 4,000 the figure? No, RT, you know when it's exhaustion for sure. You don't see a lack of, you don't see buying or selling. Okay, so for example, here's a bit of exhaustion right here. Okay, here it is again here. All right, so we should get some sellers here, and they should be able to drop it down to here, right, or 71 right here. Okay, so we're looking for, again, sellers down here. And now we're getting buyers back up here though, right? So yeah, it's kind of off the table. When you get a test of an area and you have high volume, and then you get a retest of that area, and it makes like a lower high, or I'm sorry, a higher low in here, and you don't see much selling on that second leg, you'll look for the retest back up here, right? Just like this. Okay, so now again, right here, this is where we're looking for those buyers here. If we get them, they should break it up into 76, 77. There they go, right? Okay, makes sense. I mean, the order flow is telling us something. All right, so now we're looking for, well, does it exhaust, or are we getting buyers up here? We're getting buyers still, so we're still looking for this to go higher. 79. And let's read it. Yeah, they're still buying at the top edge here. Okay, there's some exhaustion there, and a little bit of selling. All right. Now we have a little bit of a range here, and sellers coming in. Okay, what about a retest back down to here? Okay, well, let's see. What if we get buyers back up here at 70, 76? See how we can read this in here? I know this is happening very quick in here. But it's not hindsight, and that's kind of the point here. Right, we can read it, and you can make trade decisions off of it, but again, it's just not high probability. And if this is your trading style, like, heck, yeah, go for it. I mean, yeah, you're looking for just taking a few ticks here and there. So we're kind of going through this double top, double bottom kind of setup here, just understanding exhaustion. Yesterday, I did a presentation over on one of our partners, TraderAid, and we saw this double bottom pattern a few times. It was just beautiful, really nice moves. Whereas sellers here into an area of high liquidity, they totally absorbed it. The buyers did. We got a retest, and they didn't even come close to absorbing it. And we didn't get any sellers, and that's when you'll see the buyers come in and move it away very quickly. Typically, not always. And then test the other side of the range. Okay, so now we're back down here. Let's see. Do we get sellers down here? Yeah, a little bit. All right, so they should be able to drop it then, right? Down to where? Down to bottom of this range here. Okay, right here. Okay, maybe further. Let's take a look. They're down here at 71, right? Now, guys, I know what we're going through this here really quickly because we're not getting much else. We kind of this was pretty good. This was pretty good here. especially with those correlated markets. But now we're kind of chopping back and forth again. I just want to mention though, this exercise in here, you get good at this exercise, you'll be able to see it on all time frames. Look at sellers. Do we see sellers? Do we see sellers? No. Right? Do we get buyers? Yeah, we did. Okay. So let's see if we can we get buyers back up here yet again at 74.5. No, not yet. Okay, do we get sellers down here this time at 73? Not yet. Okay, some selling down here. All right, sellers should be able to drop it then. Should be able to drop it 71.5 or 71 or so. This one's kind of stubborn. Okay, again, sellers at the bottom edge. Nope. Nothing. Nothing. Let's see sellers. There's a little bit. There it is. Okay, let's see a little bit more, and then the drop into 71.5 or so. Now it's not much. There's some exhaustion here. See this again? It's the same ideas. It's just very, very small time frames in here. Retest, retest, retest 3 times here. No sellers. Buyers on the other side here. Great. They should be able to lift it back up to the top of the range here, 74. It's a really, really simple process. Okay. Now we're back down here. Do we get our sellers? Yep. All right. They should be able to drop it. Okay. Let's see. Down right to here, 71. That's what I'd be looking for. Now this here, I mean, it's, we're just kind of doing this exercise here on this very small time frame. Like I said, this works on all time frames. And you can also notice traps here, like if this buying or selling here gets kind of trapped, and you start to see the buyers come out on the other side, then look for them to hit over here, or even break out from it. Right. So anyway, here's our move into 71. Okay, a little convoluted in here, not the quickest or easiest read like some of those other ones. But anyway. Let's take a look at this here and this order flow read, and then let's take a look at a higher time frame. All right, so let's zoom out and let's see what we can find here. And let's clear the drawings. Here. All right, let's take a look at this. This might be doing it right now, higher time frame. All right, so here, look at all this buying up here, right? Okay, in this big kind of range in here. Now, we came up here and we got some buying, but we did not make a higher high. Watch and see, do we get sellers below it here in this area here? Great. If so, we're looking for the move right back down to VWAP, point of control, bottom of the range here. There you go. It's unfolding right now in real time. So this is a higher time frame kind of move based off of that fractal pattern we were just looking at. Okay, this works on all time frames. Okay, so we're still looking for these sellers to come roaring in here down to 65, down to 63. 62, and then maybe down to like 59. All right, so there it is. It's unfolding in real time, which is great. It kind of will verify that pattern. all right, that we're talking about. Now we can even look at higher time frames in here, same ideas, same concepts, I mean, you know, there's a lot kind of going on in here, a lot of wicks and stuff like that, but it tested, it retested. Here it retested, it made, there's going to be some trap volume on this little candle here, on this hourly, and then it moved away, and then it actually, it gapped, filled the gap, and then went higher on the hourly here. What about the 15-minute chart? All right, so we were looking for that move up into 76, 77. That unfolded, and now it's rejecting. All right, now where's it going to go to? Let's take a look on this higher time frame here. $10. I didn't input $10. Okay. All right. So here's our rejection. Here's our move in, right? Now we're reading this kind of on a, it's a little bit harder of a read on the candlesticks here, but we're looking for a move back down to here, okay, 63, and then down here 58, okay, where there were buyers down here, okay, because it's rejecting right now. All right, so there's your higher time frame, and the same concept in here. It retested back up here, and we found enough buyers to break it, but not enough, and then we got a retest up there, and it didn't make a higher high. We're looking for the sellers to come in. Here they come charging in, and we're still looking for it to trade lower here. All right, I hope that is showing some clarity. I hope you guys can see that. Let me know. Ask questions. Looking for sellers here. Looking for our 64-ish liquidity or VWAP here. Overnight high was 39.90. Okay, yeah, maybe potentially. You know, we kind of and we talked about these kinds of failed moves where they look really good, that they should be breaking out, and then they fail, and this is one of them right up here. Okay, at least on this time frame. Not the case on our candlestick. It just came up here and rejected top of the range. Okay, so we're putting a lot of pieces together from very, very low time frame into very, very high time or higher time frame here. Okay, and we're still looking for this move to unfold. So we already had a retest here. Sellers kind of pull back or pause. Sellers pull back. Okay, and then here, look again. Look here. Did we get sellers down here? Seller, seller, seller. No sellers. Look at this. Same idea, guys, right here. So what are we looking for? Buyers to come in, and then buyers to test back up into here, right into here where they dropped it, or top of this range here. Okay, it's just a pullback though, right? Or it's just a move. Well, on this, it's a breakout. On this small time frame here, it's a breakout of this little range here. Okay, in a little bit bigger picture, all it is a pullback or kind of back and forth in here, and we're still looking for the move lower. Okay, here they are now selling at the low end, so we're looking for the continuation, which was what we were looking for earlier. Okay, back down to this kind of 64, maybe VWAP here, 62.5 or so. Okay, makes sense. This is recorded. You can come back and review it. Okay, this is just kind of pure order flow reading in here. And like we said, we don't have a whole lot here in the heat map helping us out. This is much more about structure and the aggressor volume here. Guys, yeah, please subscribe to the channel. Show some support here for us. Hit the like button. It really helps us. We want to provide this kind of education for you. all the time, and we're doing a pretty good job. We have all day long, we have a lineup of traders. So like right after this, in another 15 minutes or so, we have Tom B. He's a volume profile trader. And then right after that, we have Doug Pless, who's looking at options. He's kind of new to the group. He's amazing strategy. And you're not going to find that anywhere else. I should probably just keep my mouth shut. But it's very unique. And yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Okay, you're just not going to find it anywhere else. So yeah, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and help us out. And then you'll get alerts when Doug is up and when Tom is up. So let me show that actually to you. Okay, here. So here's our webinar here. Here's Tom lined up next, and then Doug right after that. And then someone just added this one in here. So a release here of a scheduled release of a video. Earlier we had Rain going over crypto as well. This is our daily lineup. So quite a few events. And don't forget, there's one more. It's not listed here in YouTube. We're considering it, and it's with the Algo Boys. Okay, fantastic room on our Discord, and they'll be right after Doug. Okay, at 2:30 into the close, guys, and they're fantastic, very unique as well. You're not going to see that. You're just not going to get that kind of information. Very unique. So yeah, I would highly recommend at least you just check it out, see if you like it or not. All right, so this has been, we were looking for that breakdown in here. They pulled away, and we had a kind of cluster of buying up here now. Go figure. But still kind of looking to see if we can get that continuation on the sell side. It's not looking too good, to be honest. We see the sellers come down, and it immediately comes back up, and we're getting our volume clusters up here again. Okay, so same idea though, same pattern. Well, we were looking for the breakdown. Now actually it's looking pretty good. If we can get a little more volume up here on that buy side, they should be able to break out up into here, 72, maybe back up into 74. Okay, interesting. So we did get something, a little something here in the order book. High liquidity here, and the sellers took them on and traded into. Okay, so this guy wanted to buy here. He did. These limit buys got filled. Sellers took them on and traded through it. Can you see in this structure and volume in here? I mean, God, the order book is just not really helping us today. This is where we do get the help right here, like I said. Okay, now buyers above it. This is good. This is looking good. Buyers up here. This is what we're looking for. Buyers up here, and then 71.5. Let's just zoom out. 72 looks good, and then maybe back up into 74, 75. Okay, and we didn't get them. We just did not get the buyers here. That was their chance. All right, let's read it again. That was kind of fun, and we can read this structure and volume in here, get some insight. Here's our exhaustion, sellers. All right, so let's see. Do we get sellers again here, or are we going to get buyers up here now? If we get buyers up here, look out. Okay, then it'll go higher. I mean, here's why. It's this selling in here, in these areas in here, they're going to be the stop run to the upside up here. Okay, into our 72. Okay, we got our European close coming up upon us. Let's see here. Yeah, we're getting buyers up here. A little bit in the order book underneath. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Let's see. We get one more test back up here. Not enough there. But they did make it up to here. They made a slightly lower high. I like it though. I like this buying up here. And here we go. Okay, now this is where we got to get those buyers. If we don't, then this will fail. It's looking pretty good so far. It's auctioning here. We're getting buyers, so we should get the move up into 72. Okay, retest. Buyers, we're getting them. They should be able to move it. 72. Retest, buyers, still looking for it. Okay, let's zoom out. 72 is our target. Still auctioning on the offer up here. So still looking for it to go higher. Okay, buyers, let's see it. Maybe 73 and a half. What was it? What was our second level here? So 72 is our first level here. And then we said 74, 75, 70, 74 up here. That swing. And I'll tell you, this is why I take my partial profits. We were looking for just 72, and then it was still auctioning up here, and it still may return back up here and get buyers and get a move higher. Okay, but I like to reduce some risk along the way, stop at break even, and then or maybe stop overall in my position to be at break even, and then let this run. Okay, see how it auctioned again up here? So it did not exhaust. We're still looking for buyers here, still looking for higher. 74 looks good. RT, phenomenal job explaining things. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like button there. Please give us a like and subscribe. We'll go over these things in detail for you guys. You'll be able to put this together. I know we're kind of like really going over on the low time frame. We just didn't see much in this higher time frame in here, except for this potential move here, which started to play out, and then it reversed kind of in the middle of nowhere. I know there's a high volume node in here, but I was looking for a move back down into VWAP area 64 to 63, and then we read it down here. Same process. Okay, this is where it should have dropped, or they had all the pieces here. And then we got buyers back up here again. It was weird. And then this, can you guys read the auction in here? Read that there's more buyers at these highs, and sellers trade down lower, but it's not a whole lot of selling, and we get more buyers back up here again and again and again and again. And that's when we're looking for this to break. Okay. All right. Now we got up here and we didn't break higher. Okay, so let's read this. Yeah, here was our exhaustion again. So here you can read the exhaustion and then the heavy selling or the heavy volume on the other side of the range. That's what helps give the insight here, okay, for the potential move. Okay, Ramon, you did subscribe. Excellent. Thank you. So I did answer your question though before you. Yeah, you can trade the spot by looking at the euro dollar. Absolutely. I think that's your question, right? Yeah, but you know, the order flow here from the CME. I mean, this is these markets here in the futures markets. I think they're very fair, or they're fairer, a lot fairer. It's very centralized. It's better than stocks, in my opinion, and it's one of the most transparent markets. Okay, and that helps us, you know, gain more insight. So yeah, you may consider using this here with the 6E, and then you know, making some decisions in your spot. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Yes, Mambo, you or Roomba, you can also uh, get this kind of information off of the queues. So we'll put the queues in here actually. Okay. Now I prefer looking at the NASDAQ E-mini. But you can look at the queues here. Now it gets really interesting here in the queues, more so than SPY, I think. See the areas of high liquidity in here? It's kind of like Trader Map Pro in a sense. Read these areas in here. You might want to attend Doug Pless's webinar later today at 1:30 p.m. East Coast time, because he's always looking at these. And see how it traded up in a high liquidity here at 285 and it filled and it didn't go higher, okay, at least not yet. And see how it sold off. Okay, so again, guys, the same ideas though. Look at these moves down here and then it comes right back up, moves down here, it comes right back up. So even though it got filled up here, I'm looking for these buyers to come retest it here and see if they can break out of this area here in NASDAQ. Okay, because this kind of behavior here in the order flow, or this price structure and volume, is very, very similar to what we saw here in the S&P and down here in the S&P, right? Very similar. So yeah, we're getting our volume back up here again. Now it's up here, but it's not at the highest quite yet, right? So we got to get back up into the 74 area here. Okay, it looks good. It's auctioning up here. Kind of. It's not the greatest. Yeah, see how this is a little different than what we saw before? The best offers up here one tick higher, and nothing's trading there. It's just trading one tick lower here. See how the sellers come in now, right? So we can read that. It tested up here and it failed. Sellers are in on the other side. Look for them to take it down to the bottom of the range. Okay. Again, on all time frames. Same thing here. In these areas here. You know, retests back down here. Does not find sellers. Buyers come in. They move it back up into the range to the other side of the range too. Okay, now we're back up here with buyers. Great. All right, 75. Let's see it. and that didn't play out. Oh yeah, European close. Yeah, thank you, Mike. That's true right now. All right, so here's again, look at this little pattern here. Do you see sellers here? Do you see sellers here? Do you see buyers here? You don't really see too many buyers here. Okay, but this is rejecting here. This is a good rejection. It did the same thing here, guys. Look, sellers, twice it retested here, no sellers. Do we get buyers here? Yeah. That's when we're looking for the move back up to here. Okay, and it went a little bit higher. Okay, now it's doing the same thing back up here. And it auctioned up here. That's good. And then it quickly went right back down though. Okay, buyers. Okay, they should be able to come back up, top of the range. And we could get a breakout here now. See them pulling here a little bit. So maybe 75 is kind of the target. Guys, get good at this, and we'll have an army of order flow traders in here. And again, order flow, like we're showing, you know, works on all time frames. So we can look at the daily, the monthly even. Here, starting up. Now this is getting a little harder to read up here. Where the buyers up here is kind of both buying and selling. Don't like it. So it's not giving us that kind of clarity. Unless we see a lot of buying right here, up here, and we don't. See exhaust. Do we get sellers here? Sellers here, but I want to see them here. There's a bit. Okay. All right, sellers, let's see if we can take it down then, down to here. This liquidity here, 72 and a quarter. No. Okay, more sellers here. Let's see. 72 and a quarter or 72 and a half. There they are. There's the sellers. Okay. There they go. Anyway, guys, I think you get the concept. Let's wrap it up, everybody. So thanks for subscribing, hitting the like button. Really appreciate that. We'll come back here on Monday, go through it. Stay tuned. Tom is next, followed by Doug, followed by the Algo Boys. Great lineup for the rest of the day, guys. Something's gonna happen here. This has been really choppy session in here. That's why we had to look at that smaller time frame, but we ended up getting some good stuff out of it. A little bit higher time frame potential move here, which did not follow through, which was weird, but we read the other side of it, and look at how choppy this is in here, yet we were reading it, right? So we had to really drill down into the lower time frame, but wanted to just make that point about how it works on all time frames. It's the same concepts. Don't think it's any different. It's really not. I mean, all these different books and things out there that are going to talk about like this candlestick pattern and that candlestick pattern or whatever. It's order flow. It's about the player's behavior in the market. That dictates everything. Okay, it's not some indicator. It's about the players, and they're going to give us some insight to where price might want to go. Thanks, Noah. Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, good education, guys. We have a whole lineup of traders with this kind of education. So yeah, please come, enjoy. Give Bookmap a try. Follow along with some of this stuff, and we think it provides you an edge. So guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for coming. We'll catch up with you on Monday. Okay. All right, take care.